We just made up a new song. Oh, now we're ready. Hi. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to Kansas City Oasis. My name is Julie Manning, and I will be your hostess and MC for today. I am very pleased to welcome you here to our very own community center. We are here in the heart of Volker community and in our very own building. We are also going to be streaming live on Facebook, and if you missed anything, especially like my super awesome dancing or my great jokes, you can watch them on YouTube later. You're welcome. Since 2014, Oasis has been the premier secular alternative to faith-based communities. We welcome all, regardless of beliefs, non-beliefs, race, gender, sexual orientation, identity, or any other trait. We feel the human experience is better when it is shared. We are pleased that you have chosen to share it with us this morning. You guys are looking pretty good. Just saying. Lots of mix of colors. If you were flowers, you'd be like, damn, the lions. That's what I'm thinking. That was it, Erica. Erin, write that down, yep. Okay, Oasis 5 core values. People are more important than beliefs. Reality is known through reason. Human hands solve human problems. Meaning comes from making a difference. Be accepting and be accepted. Today's program, we have Pam Fulmer talking about Vaile Mansion. Our musical guest is Erin Eades, and Sarah Geelan is going to do our community moment. Let's give a big round of applause for Erin Eades as she gets ready. Erin Eades is perfect. Okay, can we just talk about how cute Erin is in her super awesome little pants? I'm going to read your whole little bio thing while you get plugged in and strapped on. Erin is an American singer-songwriter and a solo acoustic performer, drawing influence from indie rock, alternative, and country music. Through her music, she weaves a narrative of resilience and transformation, inviting listeners to embrace the bittersweet complexities of the human experience. One more time, please give a very warm welcome back to Erin Eades.
Thank you all for having me back. It's good to be here. I'm going to sing a couple of songs that were inspired by plants. I'm a plant person. Last night I looked outside and saw a lemon tree with the beauty underneath. Both were so familiar. Thought, why have I been here? Same place and different time. She beckoned me to come outside and sit beneath the golden glow surrounding the proximity. She said her name was Coco, answering the question in my mind. And I felt my soul sigh, Coco. Oh, your song's been on repeat, but just the intro. Said I've brought you here before and I'll call you again, 'cause we all break to pieces every now and then. They won't go back the same way, but you can be stronger than the start. And every road will lead you to the only place. Remember that and you'll find that there's no mistakes. Our stories end the same way. You can write yours from the heart. And I felt my soul sigh, Coco. Oh, my heartbeat has been your drum's echo. She said it's time to so I'll be on my way. Taking a few lemons for some lemonade and leave you with a melody, though I think you know it well. The noise can get so loud that we begin to fear the music that our mind creates, the heart wants you to hear. First give it a listen, then it's time to show and tell. And suddenly my world sang Coco. Oh, the first time, but I already know. Oh, now I'll sing it everywhere I go. Oh, Coco.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Sometimes I move too fast, and plans remind me to slow down a little bit. This is a song called False Clover.
Running all the time, caught up in the grind, never slowing down. My feet won't touch the ground. Everything's too much. I try but can't keep up. 'Cause resting's for the weak. My thoughts keep me from sleep. Oh, I could use dormancy. 'Cause I know that I'm never gonna grow till life's slower. False clover. This hustle is a hoax. I need slower. False clover. When did we get told that stopping's getting old? Just pause and let it be. This treadmill doesn't work for me. I need to breathe, so I'm breaking up with normalcy. 'Cause I know that I'm never gonna grow till life's slower. False clover. This hustle is a hoax. I need slower. False clover. to slow it down.
Thank you all so much.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Erin, I love that song. I was literally texting with a girlfriend of mine. She's a nurse as well. She teaches weekend option, and she was saying she had like 12 days in between days off. And I was like, why did you do that to yourself? So I texted her a clip of your song, and I was like, quit making your life a false clover. Caitlin, we love you. So Caitlin's going to have to come and have a day off when she's done with her clinicals in December. Okay, a couple birthdays. Kat Bridges, I guarantee you there's other people. Where you at? Where are my birthdays? Kat Bridges! I don't think, oh, she's here! I know her! Yay, we'll do like a dance for Kat later. Okay, cool. I haven't had my cat hug today yet. I'm excited. Okay, who else has a birthday this week? Anybody? Potato. No. All right. Sunday volunteer task helpers. You know that's my favorite thing. Make you guys do stuff for me. I do need help with all the things that are in the little bucket. It's not hard. You just read the card. You're like, I can do that. And then you do it, and then you move it over. We're all good at those things. So please do one, at least one. If you want to do more than one, that's fine too. And if you're like, I don't know how to do that, I will pass them out, and then I'll make you do them anyway. So maybe we'll do that after the coffee break, because sometimes you guys talk too much and then you forget. So I'll just bring them to you. You're welcome. If you want someone to know how much you love them by way of yard hearts, we got you, boo. You do need their address. So if you're like, hey, can you send my new friend Grant some yard hearts? And I'm like, I would love to. Where does he live? And you're like, I don't know. I'm like, it's his first day. I don't know where he lives either. You're like, love you. I don't know how to get it to him. So make sure you have their address, and then we'll talk to Sarah. Wave Sarah, and then Sarah will help you. Okay? That's it. Maybe you have to give us money. A donation is appreciated. Okay? What are we doing? Hold on. Okay. Vaile Mansion. So Pam is here. Pam's going to talk to us about Vaile Mansion. But if you're like, oh, I wish we could go see Vaile Mansion, wish granted. Okay? So this afternoon, after learning about Vaile Mansion here with Pam, we're going to go see it, IRL. Okay? We're going to go have lunch so you're not hangry. At 2:30, adults are going to pay $10. Kids 6 to 12 are going to pay $5. That tells me if you're under 6, maybe you're free. Maybe you shouldn't come. I don't know what that means. I'm not in charge. So we'll ask Pam. Pam will know everything, okay? But Vaile Mansion, we're going to learn more about that, and then you'll decide, holy cow, that sounds amazing. Do I want to go? Do I not want to go? We'll find out. The Music Man, Will picked out this movie because he was famous in The Music Man. So we're going to see not Will being in The Music Man tomorrow, okay? It's going to be here at the community center. If you don't like our chairs or our couches, bring your own. Bring your snacks. I'm probably going to set up the popcorn machine because I want popcorn. It's not the same as microwave popcorn. I want our fancy popcorn. And we're going to the doors open at 5:30, but we normally turn the movie on at like 6:15-ish, normally when Julie shows up, because that's when we're allowed to play the movie. Okay, that's it. Ooh, this is fun. Okay, IFC. Okay, don't read the thing. What's it mean? Anybody know? Independent film companies. Filmmakers? Coalition. No, I don't even know what it means either. I tried to quiz myself. It didn't work, sorry guys. Okay, so members of the IFCKC, say that 6 times fast, they will be filming a short comedy film here at the Oasis Community Center Thursday, October 2nd at 6 p.m. Solidify that in your brain, please. Okay, so they're looking for extras to act as background church attendees. We all used to play that role, did we not? Mm-hmm. Yes. So if you got like a big brim hat or like a stiff-shouldered thing, wear that and then be here. So, who's Manda? Manda? Talk to Manda. Manda's gonna be your go-to gal. And make sure you have an appropriately awesome outfit on to be in the background of this comedy filming thing, okay? If I'm free, you know I'm gonna be, it's gonna be awful. And you're gonna have to put me on mute. Okay, great. So we have a book club. Is that today? It says the 26th. That's October. Today's September. It's fine. It's next month. So good at this. I was like, those dates don't match. Oh, I had too much caffeine. Okay, we're gonna do Deaths on Pleasant Street. If you haven't read this book, good, because you have a whole month, okay? So this is the book, Giles Fowler. That's the book. Go read it, and then we'll see you next month. Here's the deal. We're about to get ready for Halloween. You're welcome. So we got two things coming up. If you have decorations that can go outside, here's the kicker. No plugins, no batteries, because there's not a lot of plugins out here, and I'm not going to be replacing your batteries. Ain't nobody got time for that, okay? So they got to be like penny uppies, or they got to be drapey duties, or like eyeballs in the bushes. Cool? You guys know what that means. We're going to decorate because, boom, we're also going to have a fire pit on Halloween. So then you're going to be like, look at me, I'm a dandelion. You damned lion. See? Bringing it back around. Erin and I will be damned lions. Everybody else has to pick their own costume. We're going to have a fire pit over yonder to pass out candy to all the Batmans in that neighborhood. And then they'll know we're going to be here because our building looks so baller, right? So that's a plan. Questions? You guys are all going to bring them? That's amazing. Thank you. Okay. That's on the 31st, in case you guys forgot when Halloween is. You can bring your kids. I have no plans for your kids. So if they like to sit and talk to old people about campfires, that's all I got planned. So bring plans for your own kids. Or let them go trick-or-treating by themselves. I don't know. Sure. They're not mine. Okay, private page. If you are a Facebookian, you can also be an Oasis Facebookian by coming to our private page. So for those of us here in the audience that are also Facebook users, we can add you as a friend and then to our private page. It's a two-step process, okay? And then you can see all the cool things we post, like members-only stuff. That's not on the public page. There's two pages. Public page, private page. They're different. Sometimes we cross-post because people don't look in both places. Ask me details, I'll tell you. I'm done. Sarah. Sarah's going to tell us about things.
Hello. So, first of all, what do we think about my latest hair choices? Yeah, I'm not sure either, so it's whatever. So, I am filling in today. It was this morning when I figured out what I was going to talk about. So, I'm going to, so I'm not prepared, but I did write an outline, which may or may not help. But I'm no Julie Lambert, so don't expect much from me filling in at the last minute. So I'm just going to basically tell you a story and try not to cry or ramble too much, and hopefully you'll find it somewhat interesting. And if you don't, there's always next week where somebody prepared will be up here. So a little background. In 2005, my uncle got sick, and he was a single guy with no kids. And starting with my dad in 2005, I took care of my dad. He was sick. I took care of him until he died. At the same time, my uncle was diagnosed with cancer, and I, at that time, was out of FMLA. So he needed care. Our family was far away. He also had no kids. So I was kind of like, what am I going to do to take care of him? he was very active in the Kansas City Blues Society. And I don't know if you've heard of them or not, but basically they support, obviously, the Kansas City blues scene in a myriad of different ways. They do shows and fundraisers and all that kind of thing. And it's a very close-knit group. So from that group, I met a lot of friends of his from there, one of them being my friend Cindy, who, oddly enough, she lived like 2 blocks from here on Genesee and moved there because my uncle lived down the street and they were friends. And so they had these kick-ass houses down the street that I couldn't afford. But we had some great parties there and I got to know her pretty well. So while this was going on and he needed care at home, the Blues Society community stepped in and she made schedules and served as a mediator because I didn't know a lot of these people. And we had shifts, like work shifts, every day. And people that I didn't know that well, that were in his community, would come out, take care of him until, I could get off work or things that I could do. They would take him to appointments, mow his yard, do his grocery shopping, clean house, cook, all the things that people need when they're feeling like shit, but they're, at home. So I was amazed by this, that all of these people, some of them I found out later that he didn't even really know that well. I'm thinking that they'd been friends for decades, and he's like, no, I just met her a couple of times, but they all stepped up and did all of the things to help, and it was one of the first times I'd seen a community like that, and I was just amazed by it. So when the treatments weren't working anymore and he was in the hospital dying, in the hospital room with me was our friend Cindy and Tom Trashmouth Baker. You guys might remember him. He was our musician a couple weeks ago. So while we were in the hospital room, and I'm going to try not to cry. I don't know why this part always makes me cry, but so while we were in the hospital room and my uncle was dying, Tom starts singing these gospel hymns, and I mean, his singing is just, it gets in your gut. It's crazy. But so we're trying to shut the door to the hospital room so that we're not bothering the other patients, because you've heard him, he's really loud. And then you put him like in an emergency room setting or an ICU setting, and he's even louder. So we're trying to kind of get him to tone it down, and the nurse came in and said, is it okay if we open the doors, because all the patients are wanting to hear it better. So we did, and then that was what it was. And after that, Cindy and I, this was in 2005, so for the last 20 years, she and another person, Carlene, her best friend, have been like family to me. Weddings, funerals, parties, all of those things. So Cindy was known for her compassion, and she was known for being that person that everybody thinks is their best friend. Like, she has that ability to have a relationship with everybody where they feel special. And she was friends with people that didn't even deserve it, you know what I mean? Like, she would have people that she would let stay with her, and then they would never leave or contribute, but she was the life of the party, and she would schedule as many blues shows as she could in one day. She was always an hour late to everything, always, and would be out dancing her feet off on a school night until 1 o'clock in the morning, and then go to work the next day. Now, I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say she was almost as high up as you could possibly be in a particular federal agency that she worked for. And so she lived off of after work naps, kept her alive, because she would be out until 1 o'clock in the morning every night. Yeah, there's a lot of blues shows. If you want to see a blues show every day of the week, it's pretty much available to you. So she was also extremely funky and wear all these weird clothes. Like if it had the more feathers and colors and ties and whatever, that was her thing. She also was big into cats. So she had 3 cats, one of which was the biggest cat that I've ever seen in my life. I think he's like 33 pounds or something. He's huge. And he's lost 2 pounds recently, so he's on a diet now, but his name is Sugar Bear. And so I saw him at his new home yesterday, and I had to say to him, because she would say it all the time, "You are the most handsome man that has ever existed." And he would hear that all day, every day. So, and she had 2 others, but they were fine, but this one was the guy. So, many years ago, she was diagnosed with a mutant cell disease, which I don't know what it was called, but it wasn't the cool kind of mutant cell where you get like the cool superpowers. It was the kind that could potentially turn into leukemia. So she had that for years and years, and it was treated by medication. So this year she thought she had COVID, and turns out that the cells were going crazy, and she had to do this aggressive treatment. Excuse me. So because of that, she had to, everything had to be sterilized, and she was really weak and needed people to take care of her. And her community now, at this point, she's moved to Denver, but over the last year, her community stepped up, and there was somebody with her 24/7 for the past year. Some of these blues people were from other states, a lot of them from Kansas City, and everybody, a couple days, weeks, months, whatever, would go out and take care of her so that, to make it as easy as possible for her. I told you I wrote highlights, but it's the whole thing. So we did this for a year. Obviously, treatment stopped working, and when it was obvious that it was going to be a couple days or more, I would say 15 to 20 people made their way out to Denver to say goodbye to her. And if that doesn't tell you somebody lived a great life, I mean, to have that many people that love you that much. My situation was kind of suck because my flight was delayed, and when I got there, she was asking about my flight and everything, and I'm like, well, leave it to me to get here right when you're getting ready to go to bed. And she'd had like some really good days before that. And she said, "That's okay, we've got all day tomorrow, I'll talk to you in the morning." And that was the last thing. So anyway, but I got to say my goodbye to her, and it was good. But last night we had her celebration of life. And of course at Knuckleheads, because where else would it be? So we had fun meters, because she would wear these fun meters. And even in the picture, you can see she's got her fun meter on, and she would hand these out to people at blues festivals and, and whatever, and make sure that you were set on the correct setting, which should be max all the time. So she would hand out these fun meters, and so last night we had Mardi Gras beads because she was big into New Orleans and Zydeco music, and so she had, yeah, we had the fun meters, we had the beads, we had all the things. So voodoo, or Mardi Gras beads with cats on them, it was a whole thing. But so the opening band was Big Luke and the Soul Disciples, whose real name is like Anthony Williams. So if you can explain that to me, let me know. But that was great. And then the headliner was her favorite and ours, Ernest James Zydeco. Yeah. So if you thought that his advertised final farewell show was Thursday, you were wrong, because it was actually last night. He credited Cindy with getting him back on the air, because when she was doing, did I say that she'd been on KKFI? Okay, so she had a radio, she was big into cats, and she had a radio show on KKFI called The Voodoo Kittens. You might have heard of it. Her stage name was Catnip. And so she would interview all these people, and Ernest James was one of them. So he credited her last night with getting him to go on the air and do his own show, which he still does. I don't know if he's going to do it now that he's moving, but anyway. So there were over 150 people that showed up last night to celebrate her life. People from Philadelphia, New York, Denver, all these people from all these blues places, you know, that had become her community over the years. And so being somebody with a small family and similar situation, I couldn't help but take comfort in the fact that I am not a serious member of the Blues Society, but I have my own community where we support each other through good times and bad times and are a part of each other's lives. And I have no doubt that if any of us was ever in a similar situation, we would step up in the same ways that they did for her. And I love that for us, and I think that's great. We've got a good thing going here, and I've seen how it works. So that is all that I have. As my friend Cindy would say, her big saying was, party on. So that's where we go with that.
Yay. I love that story. Thank you, Sarah. And if you need to play music in the ICU, just ask your nurses, should we play loud or should we play quiet? They'll probably tell you to play loud, because who doesn't like music? Let me pick the right PowerPoint here. Okay, here we go. Great news. It's coffee break time. Everybody loves coffee break time. So couple ideas for today. Same as every day. I would like you to introduce yourself to someone you don't know, or maybe more than one someone's. If you're brand new, everyone is that someone. Congratulations. Okay, so we're gonna come back about 20 minutes, and then we'll do some more, maybe we'll just talk about a mansion, maybe we'll have some baller music, we'll just see what we're up for. See you in 20 minutes. Okay, it's time. Ready? If this one's crooked, this will not do. Can't be the pickle ball guy. It has to have an E on it. What are we gonna do next? Let's find out. More music! Woo! Okay, Erin. Okay, so Erin, as we've been fangirling you today, how can we fan club you coming up soon?
I would love if you stayed in touch with me on my website. That is the most reliable place to find me. And I do the socials. I would say I'm more active on Instagram than Facebook, and I would love to stay in touch with you. Thank you so much.
I definitely just DM'd you our dandelion dress on Insta, so you can see how cute we're gonna be on Halloween. Okay, cool. So Erin's gonna play a song, and I'm gonna think about our Halloween dress, and we're gonna enjoy your music. To be continued. We're gonna talk about that next, Jason, but we can talk about it now.
Actually, it would probably be better to talk about it next, because I was about to play a song that is already released. So
It's already released, and then
it.
the next song. See, we're ESPN, not ESPN. That's different. Okay, to be continued.
I did put out some music a very long time ago, and I'm working on fixing that. I feel like maybe as musicians we're not supposed to play favorites, but I think this is one of my favorites. I feel permission to play this because my bio talks about being bittersweet. I write a lot of sad songs. This is one when you only have yourself to blame. This is called Wake Me Up.
Headlights retreating, told me that you're leaving. I watched you go from the inside. Didn't go out and run at you. Didn't know if I was supposed to, so I sat and stared, watched my life drive by. As broken as I think I've ever been. Wake me up if this is all a dream. Words will wound you with a tongue this sharp. Didn't mean to break your heart the first time that you opened it to me. But it was easier than sticks and stones to tell you you're better off alone. This fortress of a heart don't have a key. Love is hard, but you shouldn't have. Wake me up if this is all a dream. And now I miss you. Oh, I miss you so. Didn't take too long for you to see what I know you need. Well, I could have, but didn't is what I mean. Wake me up if this is all a dream.
Thank you.
Oh, love it, love it. So I was realizing earlier when you were playing the Clover song that I was there when you were playing with Ivory Blue at Knuckleheads. And I was like, why do I feel like we're besties if you haven't been here in so long? I was like, because I fangirled you for 3 hours in a row. And I was like, duh, me and Erin go way back. Okay, so we're going to have our featured speaker. Disclaimer. Our program is designed to generate conversation, engage our powers of reason, not as a forum to start debates. Don't do it. The following presentation has been prepared by our speaker and not by Casey Oasis. Please respect the views of our speaker. If you have questions, a Q&A portion will follow as time permits. Pam. Pam Fulmer is here. Let's welcome Pam to tell us more about Vaile Victorian Mansion. And while Pam comes up here, Sarah is going to be my Vanna White, passing out the cards of how to keep our community center looking beautiful and clean and amazing and wonderful. Thanks, Sarah.
Good morning. It is still morning. Oh, just turned afternoon. I'm so glad to be here. Let me give you just an itsy-bitsy bit of background. I'm actually an x-ray tech that retired and then started a consulting company, and now I travel all over internationally doing medical training. So I lead a variety of adventures, but my heart is always with the Vaile Mansion. As you can see, the Vaile Mansion is very unique, sometimes considered scary. It is on the list of Elle Decor magazine's top 20 mansions you should see, and it's right here in Independence. There were 3 owners, Mr. and Mrs. Harvey Vaile, and they built the house. They had gone on a trip to Normandy, France, fell in love with the architecture. He came back, and it took 3 years to build. We're not for sure what year he came to Kansas City. He was an attorney. He started in Indiana and Kentucky, ran a newspaper, was an abolitionist, and he kind of got kicked out. So he actually ended up in Westport, started a law practice in Westport, and at some time he moved to Independence and built this house. He ran a company that ran mail down the Santa Fe Trail. It had a couple little jogs off of it, but when he ran it, he was brought up on charges of fraud, mail fraud. It was so large, he had a couple managers underneath them, and they had overweighed what was on the wagons, and he got brought up on charges. We'll talk a little bit about that. Secondly, this owner, Carrie Mae Carroll Sprague, was the second owner. When Mr. Vaile died, he left the house to Kansas City Women's College. The interesting thing about that was he had 9 nieces and nephews who thought that they should have the house. So they took it to court. He died in 1911, and Carrie Mae was the first woman attorney to graduate from MU. So she processed and processed and processed, and finally the nieces and nephews ran out of money. So Carrie Mae bought the house for $1. The third owner was Roger and Mary Margaret DeWitt. We'll go into them in a little bit. But I want to show you what the house looks like. This is the entryway. You can tell there's never been a child in the house because all that glass is still there. And that is hand-etched glass. For those of you that are going to come over today, you'll need to look at the locks and the door handles because they're all engraved. The floor in the entryway was tile from England. Now, if you think about it, 1881 till probably 10 years ago, there were some broken tiles. So you will meet Sandy this afternoon, who went to England with her husband. She had found the original receipt for the tile and had been able to get matching tile and bring home, and we could have it replaced. This is in the gentleman's parlor. There's one just like it in the ladies' parlor. It came from the White House. And I think it was Hayes, President Hayes. He didn't think it was up to White House standards. So Mr. Vaile, who was very social, was at the White House at that time. He says, I'll just bring it home to my Independence Mansion. So those two are original in the house. This is the stairway. It is made out of black walnut. It is the only hardware in the house other than the white pine that everything else is made out of. You can't sneak out. It creaks so bad. Now, do know that, pay attention to the stairway, because the stairway comes to about here on me, because people were so much shorter then. Oh, went backwards. It was the only house in the area that had indoor plumbing. Copper tub is original to the house. Pull chain toilets. And think about 1881, pull chain toilets. So I said that the woodwork in the house is all white pine, but it has been painted or faux bois to make it look like other types of wood. Now the grotesque are upstairs. This room here was Mr. Vaile's favorite room. It's on the second floor. People would go in there. They would, close friends, and he and his friends would smoke cigars. The ceiling has stars on it, but on these doors and on the woodwork, this has been painted on there. They're called grotesques. It was a sign of wealth to have these in the house. But frankly, they're just a little bit scary. So let's go back to Mr. and Mrs. Vaile. Mr. Vaile was brought up on charges of mail fraud. He went to Washington, D.C. to stand trial. The first trial never finished, so he had to go back. And the second trial, while he was there, Mrs. Vaile committed suicide or died. We don't know which. He came back and he buried her, and he went back home and lived there for the rest of his life. Never remarried, lived in this big, beautiful home. But Mrs. Vaile really had trouble in Independence. Think about it. She came from New York. Independence is a narrow-minded community, and her neighbors and friends found out she had a naked woman on the ceiling in her bedroom. It was horrible. It was just horrible. In fact, when you go, you'll be able to see there's net over her bodice. And that was done only after Mrs. Vaile asked Mr. Vaile to do that, because she was being ostracized. But you can still see her assets through the net. This is her bedroom. Be aware of the architecture, because the beds are placed so that there is air that moves through from side to side and from the back. It is a house designed way before its time. But I said, we don't know whether Mrs. Vaile died. She supposedly had gastric cancer, but people were able to buy laudanum over the counter. Do you know what laudanum is? Morphine. And they were told to take several drops. Now, she was very upset because Mr. Vaile was on trial. When she knew he was innocent, he left her alone huge amounts of time. So we just don't know if she poisoned herself or if she died of her gastric cancer. It is said that she left a letter and a brooch for him. It was never seen again after he read it. So that mystery will always be there. The Vaile has 3 floors. This is the 3rd floor that everybody just dies to get up to see. Paranormal groups, when we were doing investigations, were very anxious to go see it. It was supposed to be a ballroom and a billiard room, but it was never finished when she died. He lost all interest in the house. So when Carrie Mae Carroll took over the house, first she tried selling water because there's numerous springs on the property. Then she tried what at the time is really an Airbnb, having people from the city come out. But she met a man who sold her on the idea he could take mentally ill people and make them better. So for a very short period of time, it was an asylum. That didn't work. So she started a nursing home in about 1912 until it was closed by the state in 1982. Now, when you think about an old 3-story mansion being a nursing home, as a kid, we used to go sing to them when I was a Girl Scout. Stink. Oh, the place stunk. Think about that stairway. They had to get people up the stairway. So Carrie Mae put beadboard up. These are the 2 hallways on the 3rd floor. So there's really nothing to see, but people that would probably never come down were put on the 3rd floor. There is a story that a woman did jump off the third floor. We can't document whether that's true or not. But we do have a friend that comes, there he is, that comes down occasionally and bothers people. Pretty rare now that we don't have paranormal investigations. It was very interesting when we had paranormal investigations. We quit because usually the stories they told were not true. And number two, they didn't take care of the property like we'd like to keep care of it. We want our house to live forever and ever. Our mansion is owned by the city. The interior is taken care of by the Vaile Victorian Society, of which I am a member. And so any updates on the interior, we try and take care of. We have to work with the city historian to get that done. We have about $2 million worth of damage on the outside. We are constantly raising funds so that we can get it done, even though it's the city's responsibility. You know, there's that old saying, demolition by neglect. We don't want that to happen. So our mansion is maintained by a certified horticulturist. She worked for the city. She volunteers for us. Aren't we lucky? And there's the basement. When I first started about 12 years ago, there was still canned vegetables on the shelves, and we're pretty sure that was from the nursing home days. We got it in 1983. Roger and Mary Margaret bought the house when Carrie Mae Carroll Sprague died. They were going to live in the house. The scary part was a developer wanted it. He wanted it really bad. He was going to tear it down and put a parking lot for the duplexes and apartments that he was building. But Mary Margaret and him really got into it. So she won the house. She got it. So the first thing they did was replace the slate on the roof. And then Mr. DeWitt, who was a car dealer in Independence, died of a heart attack. So there the house is being run by a single woman. So she kept it a nursing home. A week before she died, she deeded the city the house. And she did a preservation easement for a foot away from the exterior of the house, so nothing can be changed on the exterior. It has to maintain the same. The city doesn't like the tune of $2 million, so we really haven't gotten the go-ahead to move forward with the exterior. If you do come take a look on the south side, we have windows being repaired right now. We have a man that will restore the windows, which means keeps the glass and just build the wood around them again. So you'll see some windows boarded up, but we're working on it. Now, Santa Claus does live in our basement. You will not be able to see the third floor or the basement because the city doesn't. The basement really is pretty dangerous with all the concrete flooring. But that's where we store our Christmas trees. Last year we had 87 Christmas trees in the house. We have the garden club that maintains our rounds and pulls weeds for us. So through the seasons, it's a pretty beautiful place. And we have events during the year. And I urge you to look and try and come to one. In the spring, we always have a spring tea. This year, Mr. and Mrs. Vaile visited us during the tea and told us a little bit about their life. In June, the first Saturday of June, we have the Strawberry Festival, where we have strawberries and ice cream and strawberry sodas. And this year we had 90 vendors selling arts, crafts, and antiques. In October, we have the Macabre Tours. And it basically goes through funeral customs in the Victorian times or odd customs in the Victorian times. We have quite a collection of artifacts from that time. Then in December, we have champagne and chandeliers. You come through the door, you're either given a glass of champagne or sparkling water. My grandkids are the waiters that pass around goodies, crackers, and you can look at the decorating that is just beyond. It's just beyond. And what makes it so neat, it's different every year. Each decorator takes a different room every year, so it's never the same. But let me show you a little bit about what we're working on the outside. Since it's city-owned, we have to get Pishney, who is a restoration. He's qualified in restoration. That group is also doing the Sour Castle in Kansas City, Kansas. It's really kind of sad. Every once in a while, a piece will fall off. You walk through the yard and there's trim on the ground. I can always be reached through vailemansion.org. I maintain our website. Also, we're on Facebook, and you can keep track of our events. You can find out about our events on vailemansion.org. And I sure hope to see you about 2:30 this afternoon when you come over and visit. We love to share our house. Any questions? Yes, ma'am. Oh, thank you. Denise has a, okay.
Okay, we're ready. Okay, so please make sure your question ends in a question mark. We want to make sure Facebook can hear you, so please wait for the microphone. Denise? Denise is first because she does all the hard work.
Make you get your exercise. You said right now you have $2 million of damage that needs, is that all just,
Exterior.
right, but is it just from weathering or have things?
It hasn't been worked on. We got the house in 1985. We've redone 2 porches, but it's really not ever had any updates since then.
So you're not having vandalism or anything like that?
We've had several minor, they stole Father Christmas off the front porch. That was devastating to us. We've had our cellar broken into, but there's iron doors at the bottom, so they couldn't get in. Minor damage. Most of it's weather.
So originally, how much land was there?
He had 5,000 acres.
5,000.
No, it kind of jutted out in different ways. And as he sold that land, he bought land in Texas and raised cattle. I mean, he was one of the first entrepreneurs he was an Indian agent in Colorado. He just did a little bit of everything.
Texas is not connected to Missouri, by the way. Okay, Doug.
This is kind of a technical question. What kind of updates are you doing to the building? You know, electrical work, plumbing, are you putting AC into it?
It has air conditioning. It has a fire alarm, of course, a security system. We have internet, so you can use your charge cards.
So you mentioned the easement. Is
Yes.
it like the legal easement regarding like making changes? Could you explain more about like what that means regarding like the updates you're doing to it?
Well, basically, the outside is protected by the Missouri Preservation Society. You can never take a window away. You can't paint the brick. It is everything on the outside of the house has to remain the same according to the Preservation Society. So if you want to do anything, you have to petition the Preservation Society. They come out and they check every 2 years, make sure we haven't done anything.
So I actually live within walking distance to the mansion, and one of our favorite things to do is go to the Strawberry Festival. We've done that for the past few years that we've lived there. So my question is, do the funds from those events get donated towards like the restoration?
Yes, yes.
Stuff?
We have enough funds to do the south side first and second tier. Right now we're fighting with the city to get it done. And let me give you just a little thing that's kind of disappointing. We're trying to get it done so they can start before bad weather. If not, they'll have to wait till good weather. And we're sitting on pins and needles whether we'll get to have the Strawberry Festival, which probably draws 3,500 people.
So here's a question. If you had 25 dinosaurs show up to the city asking to restore the mansion, would they say yes?
Oh, absolutely.
Because I know some dinosaurs.
I have extra tour guides there today.
Hey. So we'll coordinate with Denise on that later. Okay, Pam?
Okay.
So.
And you will see me, you said 2:30?
Today, 2:30.
Today.
Yeah, don't bring kids who break glass. Okay?
I will be there to welcome you in, and then I'll probably boogie on.
Boogie on. Yeah, boogie on, Garth. Okay, questions? Any more dying must-knows? Cool. All right. Oh, one more. Mooring. Okay, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on.
Well, will you talk a little bit more about how the place is decorated during Christmas? It is amazing, just amazing.
I'll allow it. That wasn't a question, but
I did say we had 87 trees last year, which is the most trees we've ever had. And it all depends on the designer for that room, how it's decorated. I think, I should have looked. I never can remember the names. This year's theme is a very, very merry. That doesn't sound right. So I'm not going to be able to tell you the theme. But when you go, there'll be a piece of paper that will have all our events listed so you can remember. We keep our trees downstairs. So the Boy Scouts come usually November 1st. Our last day before decorating is October 31st, if it comes on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. That's the only days we're open. Boy Scouts will come. They'll take furniture downstairs. We will bring trees up, and they can start decorating. immediately when they get their trees up. People have already put in, those two third floor rooms I showed you are full of decorations, so people have already put their names on the ones they want to use, or they bring their own in. Like I said, we don't put Father Christmas out anymore because he got stolen, and we really don't put much outside. We do have homeless population. And you know, it's interesting. We have a security system with a TV outside, and I've been there 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's weird to see people walking through the yard. Are they real?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna have to come by at Christmas time and just do like glam photo shoots of each other.
Well-
that would be super fun.
Denise can contact me, and we'll
Yeah.
schedule a tour.
We'll bring our dinosaurs. Merry Victorian Christmas is our theme this year at Vaile Mansion.
Okay.
Merry Victorian Christmas.
I'm glad you're here.
Okay, everybody, can we give a round of applause for Pam?
Thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
All right, I am super stoked. I'm going to find something amazing to wear for Christmas. We're going to go to
Got
Vaile
it.
Mansion and take a bunch of cute photos. Questions, we already did that. If you didn't notice, Katie gave me some money. If you'd like to give me some money, I will take it. And then I'll send it to Oasis, because that's how I do things. Or you can do kcoasis.org/donate and give us your money that way. You can Venmo us, you can PayPal us, you can Square us, you can Cash us, you can finger gun us. Whatever brings joy to your heart. Thanks, Sydney. I can always rely on you. We do need your support. If you're like, I don't have money for you, Julie, that's okay. I will take your sweat in the currency of volunteerism. But recurring donations are the most helpful, so we know how much money we got to spend on stuff like donuts and coffee and popcorn and musicians that are amazing, like Erin. Thanks for being here, Erin. What? And electricity and like our lease for this cool building. Speaking of Erin, Erin's going to come up and play some more music. And I believe we were going to discuss some new stuff you got coming up, right? Hold on, I'm going to wait for your microphone because everybody on Facebook wants to hear you.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if anybody in this room has ever had to pivot tremendously, but I found myself in that situation. I'm really excited that I have gotten to hear what my album is going to sound like, and I've been working diligently on what it's going to look like, and should be able to share it with you all in March, so that's cool. The reason I mentioned the pivot is because one of the tracks that I have on this album I have already released, but I also re-recorded it, so in March you'll get to hear it a bit differently, but the album is going to be called Monsters, and it's all about the end of things, the grieving of processes, or the grieving process, and all of those things that go along with that. And one of the tracks is called The Lesser of Two Evils. It's about accountability. Here we go. Thank you all so much again for having me. It's been a pleasure to talk to you all and to be here again today. Thank you.
Who's the winner when you compete to be the lesser of two evils? It's impossible, one's greater and one's less. Or is it just a game we play where everybody loses? Am I the best of the worst, or the worst of the best? Who can be the judge of what's become, what's real and what's illusion? Which one really matters, the thought or the act? I was wrong. I should have told you instead of stringing us along. I was oh, we twist and turn and never learn this dance that we're creating. We make it up as we go. We do it on the fly. But in doing so, we step on toes. These missteps that we're making, they trip us up. We stumble on the lies. You were wrong. You could have cut me out when you knew that we didn't belong. You were wrong. You were wrong. You were wrong. I was wrong, but only one of us can say it after so long. Oh, I wanna hear you say it after so long. Oh, I wanna hear you say it after so long. I wish that you'd admit. I wish you'd admit that you were wrong.
Thank you.
I really love that song. I think that's the most polite way to tell someone they were wrong. I really don't think it sounds that way when I say it. So we're gonna try your way next time, Erin. I don't know, babe, what do you think? Like maybe a little nicer Erin's way. Okay, phenomenal. Okay, so we're gonna go have lunch at Crown Center. And then, that's not Crown Center's address. Hold on, I was confused for a second. And I was like, that's not where Crown Center is at Crown Center. And then we're gonna go to Liberty to have not lunch at Vaile Mansion. Cool? What? It's in Independence. Okay, we're gonna have lunch at Crown Center. Then we're gonna go to Vaile Mansion. Lunch, mansion, cool? Don't go to lunch at Vaile Mansion because you're gonna be all by yourself with no lunch. That won't work out. Okay, next week, Ron Runke is gonna be here talking about boys, men, manhood, and masculinity. Yeah, Ron, that's our very own Ron Runke. Musical guest, Cashel Fox. And if you're not here, I hope it's because you won the lottery, in which case you're gonna bring me chocolate. It's kind of your only reason you're off the hook from being here, because that should be a good one. In the meantime, between now and next week when you bring me chocolate, I need your help cleaning up your stuff. I'll get my cups and my label maker. Did you guys get your card? Hold your card up. Julie and Sarah got one. You guys are awesome. Okay, so take your card, go do your card real quick, team up with the bestie, and then talk. I'm so sorry, Grant's first day. He already got a card. Good job, Grant. Woo! Woo! First day. Good job. Okay, we can do it. That's the end. Okay, love you, bye.